we go in the huddle on the Woodward Radio Network. In the Huddle is driven by Mills Fleet Farm. From Tanner's Sports Grill in Kimberly, here is Justin Hall with Packers offensive tackle David Bakhtiari.
And a good evening and welcome here to Tanner's Sports Grill in Kimberly in the Huddle on the Woodward Radio Network. Back for another week. I am Justin Hall along with our Packer host this week, offensive tackle David Bakhtiari, as the man with the big voice said. Good to have you back in, David.
It's good to be back.
34-30 yesterday. We'll get right into it. I know we were talking a little bit before about as tough of a game as you're going to find as a football player, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a lot of ups and a lot of downs, and I just wish we were on the side that ended with the upside. So,
what's the ups and the downs there? I mean, you get down 14-0, then you score 30 points. So emotions, momentum's on your side. Then all of a sudden they score the final 20 points. I mean, what's it like being a part of that with the emotional roller coaster and just the momentum swings that the game brought?
I mean, just trying to channel, all the adversity and the momentum swings and kind of just stay true to, playing your game. I mean, it's tough. I mean, especially when you go on the road too. And I mean, we've had 2 road games come down to the wire, and then they just don't end up tipping in our favor. It's something that you don't want to experience. Be on the other side of the coin. But if we get it out now and then later on in the season we're on the right side of the coin, I'll take that.
You look at the schedule to start the year: San Francisco, Washington, and Cincinnati, 3 playoff teams from a year ago. So I think a lot of people knew heading into the season it was going to be a real tough start for you guys. And with Cincinnati, I think some Packer fans maybe thought of the old Bungles, of the 80s and 90s screwing up the way that they did. But that's a darn good football team that was in front of you guys.
I mean, no doubt, especially at home. I mean, any team, when you go home, you already have, that element of being home. The more comfortable, you're a lot more comfortable, and, you're going against a team that's, on the road. But, I mean, they're a good team. They're going to be in the playoffs, and, it was a hard-fought game, came down to the wire, and like I said, we should have ended up on top, but, some things don't always work out the way you want it to be.
What's it like walking onto the field for the first time down 14-0 already? Just kind of the circumstances, how they worked out yesterday.
It's tough, but, I mean, we know, we're the Green Bay Packers. We're a high-scoring offense, so we know that we're going to, make it back. We just hope that, we can keep in the game. It was so early when it happened that, you have so much time for the game, the ebbs and flows. We knew that there were going to be some swings, on both sides. So, like I said, it was bad, but we kind of knew like it was going to, be a hard-fought game to the fourth quarter. Next
man up, that's kind of been the Packer way over the last few years. Last week, I remember talking with Devon about James Starks' performance. Now, this week, we talked to you about Jonathan Franklin, 13 carries, 103 yards for a young man who never had an NFL snap and was kind of buried on the depth chart heading into the season. I mean, for a guy, and he admitted it, he had a tough training camp, but for a guy to come out of nowhere and really just bust out on the scene the way he did, that's pretty good for one of your fellow rookies.
I mean, yeah, I was very excited. When he came out there and he performed, he was called upon, and we needed him to step up, and he answered the call. He had some great runs. He was able to, stretch the run play and then, sit and wait and kind of hide behind us big guys, kind of let us move him around a little bit, and then he just cut it straight upfield. I mean, it was awesome to see him play like that. So hopefully, we get to see a little bit more of him. That adds another element to our offense.
I think with James, people know what's there, but when the Packers drafted Eddie Lacy and Jonathan Franklin, there was such an excitement for the running game this year, and I think after seeing what Lacy's done in the preseason and what to expect from him and seeing what Franklin's capable of doing, I think the optimism's really high now on where this running game can go.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx it, so I'm going to knock on wood right now. And I'm just going to hope that, we can kind of keep this going and, be very multidimensional in offense, kind of take it off of Aaron's shoulders with the throwing game and have him throw when we need him to throw and, count on the running game when we need to run down the clock and, really, keep the defense, on their heels.
I want to bring it up, the tough play for him, the fumble, obviously on the 4th down, one that kind of overshadows a lot of the good that he did. But as a young guy, what were some of the things, that his teammates, you're telling him to try to, keep him up, keep that confidence out there, because he did need to go back in there and help out?
I mean, I'm just as young as him, so, I understand growing pains are going to be a part of the process, and it's a good learning experience. Now, just the biggest thing is don't let it happen again. When you have a mistake, you need to either learn from it. You can go two roads. You can either learn from it and not let it happen again, or let it happen again. Then it shows, okay, well, what's wrong with you need to learn from what you've done. So, I mean, knowing Jonathan Franklin, the type of guy he is, I'm pretty sure that his big emphasis is going to be definitely even more with the ball security, and especially with the short yardage when it comes down to it, and with you factor in the element of jumping.
How about the line where you guys are progressing? Because I think as the year has gone on here, we're starting to see a more cohesive run blocking unit, something that you haven't been around, but in years past I think Packer fans wondered how good of a run blocking offensive line is, but based on the last 2 weeks, I think it's really coming together for you.
Yeah, at the end of the day, offensive line, we want to run the ball. We want to, we kind of take pride in that. That's, I guess, like the biggest thing that we can take credit for is run blocking, and also, keeping the quarterback clean. So, we just need to play a complete game coming off the last week. The biggest thing is, we did a great run blocking, but, we need to keep Aaron upright because, he is our man at the end of the day. So we can't put all our emphasis on run blocking and forget, how to protect, the man in Green Bay. So that's basically, the biggest thing that we could take away from this past week. But I am excited to see the weeks go on and see how we can do with this run game, because it is something that I guess is new to Green Bay, and I'm excited just to be a part of it.
Well, time right now for our Compass Land Consultants Injury Report. Compass Land Consultants, a full-service real estate consulting business specializing in the sale of vacant land, including hunting property. Just like Aaron Rodgers, Compass Land Consulting is the best in the business when it comes to selling all types of land. Let Compass lead you to victory in your search for the perfect property, whether it's a small lot on the water or hundreds of acres to hunt that big trophy whitetail. Compass Land Consultants has the experts to find exactly what you're looking for. Give them a call today, 800-548-6933, or check them out at clclands.com. A lot of hunting right around the corner. Everyone in Wisconsin looking forward to that. But the injury report, tough day for you guys yesterday with the hamstring injury. Clay Matthews had to come out of the game. James Starks, a knee, and Jermichael Finley, a concussion. So now having the bye week is kind of a good time to get a lot of these guys healthy.
I mean, yeah, especially, there's some big names that we really need. So it's good that, we're going to get them healthy and, come back. And then we got after this bye week, we got a good game, against Detroit. So we could have all of them back and kind of, get the ball rolling again.
Yeah, we'll get more updates, too, on the injury update brought to you by Compass Land Consultants when we return. And we'll meet our special guest for today. Back with more of In the Huddle here on the Woodward Radio Network. And welcome back to Tanner's Sports Grill in Kimberly. In the Huddle brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm here on the Woodward Radio Network. David Bakhtiari, our Packer co-host, along with us here today. And before we introduce our guest, David, I want to finish up our Compass Land Consultant Injury Report. We were talking about the bye week coming at a good time with Jermichael, Clay, and James out yesterday. Hopefully Morgan Burnett, Casey Hayward, Jarrett Bush, and John Kuhn nursing the hamstring injuries, and Eddie Lacy can come back after the bye week. And as we were kind of a nice time to have that extra time off there. And
exactly. 5
hamstring injuries?
No idea. I mean, things happen, and we just need them to be healthy because these are guys that we need. Especially coming on after this bye week, we have a long stretch ahead of us, a lot of games, so it'd be good to have them back.
Yeah, a couple tough ones too out of the break. We were talking about Detroit and Baltimore, the first two when the Packers return to the field. But let's introduce our guest for today, find out more about him. Also in his rookie season, David going to be bringing his rookie class in this year, and really excited about that. A fifth-round pick out of Iowa. Where's number 33? Ladies and gentlemen, it's Micah Hyde.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming out, Micah. Fostoria, Ohio. Did I get that right? Fostoria?
Fostoria, Ohio. It's a great place.
Grant Jackson, a baseball player from 1965 to 1982, and Micah Hyde, the two people that put Fostoria on the map, right?
Must be.
Well, tell us a little bit about Fostoria, the hometown, and growing up in, 13,000 people, 14 right in that mix?
Yeah, about 13,000 people. Great community. It's about, if you're familiar with like Toledo, Ohio, it's 35 minutes south of there, right down 75. like I said, it was known for its football. Its football is kind of dying off now, but back in the day we had some really good teams, and really enjoyed the place.
When you say back in the day when you were there, if I read this correct, you were a team captain sophomore, junior, and senior season, an all-state quarterback as a senior, and you hold 17 school records.
I think I did everything in high school. I don't think I came off the field. I can remember one time coming off the field, and that was like my sophomore year. Other than that, I kicked, punted, did all that stuff. So it was a good time.
Do you know all 17 school records you hold?
I do not. I don't. Nope.
Well, your brother, like David, your brother, a football player in front of you, Marcus, played at Michigan State, correct?
Correct.
And you had an uncle that played in the NFL, too.
Correct. My step-uncle now. So he played for the Eagles for a couple seasons, and them years that they went to the conference championship game and never made it. So he had a good career, and he played pretty well.
So, David, you can kind of answer this too. Having a brother kind of pave that way in the sports world, it's, is it high expectations to live to? Are you trying to live up to, what they did beforehand?
I would say it's like a double-edged sword in the aspect of, you have that expectation you got to live up to, the hype that your older brother created. And my brother had a pretty good hype in high school. But also the good side of it is he kind of paves the way, shows you he got to experience a lot of things that he did right and wrong, and then he kind of bestow the knowledge upon you. So then when you go through it, you can kind of stay away from the things that he did wrong, and then kind of minimize the rough edges, things that you'll face. So I saw it as a good thing and a bad thing at the same time.
You're kind of nodding your head with the yes part of paving the way and learning. You want to add anything there?
It definitely made sense. With coming after my brother. He did some good things and also did some bad things, made some mistakes. So I was just back there to learn from his mistakes and stuff like that. And he kind of paved the way for me. So it made it very easy, for when I was going through high school and through college and stuff like that.
So how do you end up in Iowa?
What was that?
How do you end up in Iowa?
I was getting recruited by all the MAC schools. Like you said, I'm from Ohio, so that's big around there. I wanted to go to Northwestern, and the criteria there is really strong. I had to get like a 22 on the ACT. I got 21. I took it a couple times. I'm like, you know what, Northwestern must not be for me then. So and I wanted to go Big Ten, and Iowa was there the whole time, so I went out there. On my way out there, Michigan State tried to offer me because my brother was up there. And I didn't want to follow him, so I went out to Iowa.
I saw you were on the honor roll. Is that right? Each semester that you're out there?
That is correct, yep.
That's a great.
You mean in Iowa?
Honor roll, yeah.
No, definitely in Iowa.
That was in high school.
In high school, yes, correct. Correct.
Okay.
Not in Iowa.
Just making sure we're.
Don't put that on me.
Well, you were all Big Ten first team in 2012, I believe, second team in 2011. Yeah. So on the field, the accomplishments were definitely there. With getting noticed throughout the conference.
Yeah. I had a all right career at Iowa. Wish I could have did a little better, but at the end of the day, I ended up here in Green Bay, and it's an awesome place to be.
I don't think we mentioned this last week, David, so I'll mention a two-time All Pac-12 second team for David Bakhtiari. I want to make sure I get that out there for you as well. So coming to Wisconsin here to Green Bay, from Ohio, go to college in Iowa.
Yeah.
It's nice being drafted in the Midwest, staying approximately close to home.
Yeah, exactly. It's about an 8-hour drive, so it's not too bad. I was telling David before this, the games in our division, the away games that we have are actually closer to home than what Green Bay is. So, it works out for my family. They can come, obviously go to the Detroit game, and Chicago's not too far. And we were in Cincinnati the past week. That's a couple hours from my hometown, so it works out pretty good.
Nice for both of you. David mentioned he got a nap in his own bed before the San Francisco game. Was Cincinnati that close, or was that a little further?
Cincinnati was a little further, but I had some family come down the day before and, had dinner with them and stuff like that.
Well, we brought up last week, and David's bringing the rookies each week, so I want to hear this from each of you. Yeah. Tell us about your draft day story and what's it like hanging out and waiting for that phone call and finding out where you're going to go play.
My draft day story is pretty exciting. I didn't get into, all that hype about, what everybody was saying, what round I would go and stuff like that. And I figured, if I just got that shot, whether if it was first round, seventh round, free agent, I was going to try to make the most of it. So on that Saturday, I think it was the later rounds. I kind of figured I'd be going then, but I didn't want to think about it. And so I was on the golf course in my hometown at the country club. I told my buddies I don't want to be in front of the TV and stuff like that. So me and 3 other friends ended up going out to the golf course. And one buddy kept having updates on his phone. I told him to put his phone away. We were trying to golf, have a good time. And he kept saying how this guy went, that guy went. So, finally my phone rings and it says Green Bay, Wisconsin. And I'm actually like in my backswing, and my buddy starts yelling, so I run over to the phone, get it. I'm trying to talk to everybody, all the coaches and everyone, and my friends are just yelling. Like I can't even. I probably talked to them for 10 minutes. I have no idea what they said to me. So finally, I hang up the phone, and we all start yelling. We're through our golf clubs, our balls, in the pond. We all start running. We all start running everywhere. And
proper golf etiquette.
I think to this day you could probably find 2 bags of golf clubs out there. And so then we start driving back to the clubhouse through everyone's fairway, just screaming, yelling. I don't know how we didn't get hit by a couple balls. And coming to find out, I had like 10 more friends out there that would just happen to hear at the same time. So it was just a big party at the clubhouse.
Wow.
Yeah. It was awesome.
That's quite the day. Now I was hoping they were yelling in excitement, not because your phone's going off during their backswings.
No. Everyone was excited. I think the people that even saw us go through the fairway, I think they understood.
Well, I think one of the exciting things about having both of you here is we go back to training camp, and fans always talk about the high picks. Dayton Jones, Jonathan Franklin. We mentioned Eddie Lacy with the running back, but as soon as practice started, out of Mike McCarthy's mouth, David Bakhtiari and Micah Hyde, I mean, you guys both came in. Little fist bump there. There you go. You guys both came in, and it was, we saw what you were capable of, and I think everybody got excited to see you guys get out there, put on the pads, and see what you can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. The way I just think of it is, like I said, as soon as I got the opportunity to, showcase my ability, I wanted to do so. And so first day of practice was that opportunity, and I came in. I mean, it's kind of good now. Obviously going first or second round, you don't have these high expectations, but you could just come in and kind of do your thing, and that's just what I've been trying to do every day. Try to get better every day, and I think David's obviously been trying to do the same too. I'll
bring this up. Preseason, did you guys get any time off? Because it seemed like a lot of players will play a quarter here or there. It seemed like you guys played every single quarter, almost what the preseason was going through.
I pretty much played like a half of every game. So
you were out there 4 quarters most of them.
I had the most snaps out of anybody else in the preseason. I feel like I've already played half of the season by now, and it's only our 3rd game.
Well, more with Micah Hyde and David Bakhtiari in the huddle here from Tanners and Kimberly on the Woodward Radio Network. We are back here at Tanner Sports Grill in Kimberly in the huddle on the Woodward Radio Network tonight, along with Packers' David Bakhtiari and Micah Hyde. I am Justin Hull. Transportation for our guests, as always, brought to you by L&S Classic Limousine. Lenny and Sue, the best in the business, getting our players here safe and on time each and every week. Well, time for our wild card segment, where we like to not necessarily go X's and O's, try to have some fun and see how it works. And this week, I'm curious to talk about some of the differences between college life and NFL life. You guys have only been here, a couple of months and whatnot, but we'll see how this goes. When you were in college, how many hours a week would you say you spent on football?
Oh, I gotta start this one off.
We'll switch off.
It honestly was. I mean, it's about the same, to be honest. Obviously you have your class in college and that, but right after, or actually before, you're lifting and doing that stuff, and afterwards you got practice throughout the whole afternoon and stuff like that, and obviously studying game film. So just the only difference is that you have class in college, but it's about the same for me.
For me, it was at the facility compared to like college, we have so much more time we're working, at our stadium as compared to college football. But I'd say like outside, I'd give it probably a little bit more now, but it was pretty close. Like what he was saying was the same outside of when we were doing football.
So kind of the school work in now aspect of college, you're now spending that time probably prepping more in the NFL.
Yeah,
right?
no, definitely.
Free time's kind of the same as I guess what I'm getting to, or more now. Or
Not a
more
lot of
then?
free time.
Less. I would say definitely less.
Walking around campus, you guys get noticed, pointed out as being football players, or were you able to blend in?
For me, going from Colorado, we're loved and hated at an equal sight. So, I mean, some people knew me. No one really was like, "Oh my God, that's David Bakhtiari." I just kind of was, that's David. He plays on the football team. I think we're like 1-11 right now, so not too much love. But I mean, definitely here, I'd say I definitely get noticed a little bit more.
Yeah. How about Iowa? Because I mean.
Yeah, Iowa's kind of like here. They love their football and stuff like that. And there's not much.
Colorado, they love us too. I just want to put it out there. It's not that they didn't love us. They just didn't love us losing. So
yeah,
just want to put it out there. We love that. It was mutual. Okay, go on.
All right. Yeah. So like I was saying, it's kind of like here. But at the same time, I'm not, 6'5", 300 pounds.
Yeah, whoa.
That was a compliment, I think.
The weight is not an issue, okay?
Hey, I'm joking with you. But no, it's
305 too. So
I look like a regular student. So until it was like the first day of class and we was checking attendance, someone said my name. No one really knew who I was.
So now is it? I mean, how has it been? How long did it take for you to get noticed as David Bakhtiari, tackle for the Packers, Micah Hyde, cornerback for the Packers? How long did that take?
Still doesn't happen to me. I mean, as far as the thing is I love it. I mean, I love it that way because there's a lot of high-profile guys on the team that just they're you see them on TV and stuff like that. So they're getting bombarded with fans and stuff like that. And I don't get me wrong, I love my fans, but at the same time I can go to the mall and walk through it without having paparazzi chasing after me, so I'm good.
You running any paparazzi in Green Bay?
I think he's being very humble about the situation, so I applaud you for that. Check his Twitter followers; he's definitely got more than me. But I mean, when we got off the plane, after being drafted, a bunch of people kind of come at you. You just got drafted, so you kind of have that kind of celebrity status, and then that kind of died down. And then once I'm getting noticed in the media for how I'm playing, and then getting the starting left tackle spot. Then it kind of, spiked up again. But it was pretty much at a kind of happy median. And I mean, being here, being as a big person, when people, all right, well, there's a big human being. He's got at least be doing something. Like what is he doing here?
But when he says it, it's okay.
No, because it's me, man. I can talk about myself like that.
I thought you were going to say once you got your own radio show, that's when the popularity
That's true.
really.
Exactly.
That's true. I just, want to stay humble about it.
Ever have a professor ask for an autograph?
No.
No?
Maybe once or twice.
Oh.
At the end of the semester, when it was all said and done, we said our byes and that maybe yeah.
Is that against rules or anything, or I don't want to get you in trouble or anything?
I mean, they didn't give me like an A for it or anything. Kind of wish they would have, but you can't do that in college.
How about the atmosphere when you're out on the field? I mean, take us through, playing in Boulder and Lambeau Field, Cincinnati, San Francisco. That's where you've been, and then of course, Iowa City and some of the Big Ten schools, and where you've been as well. I think it's your turn first, David.
I mean, I would say it's kind of the same, just because, I get kind of a college atmosphere here. I mean, even like the stadium, like they just love our fans love the Packers so much, and then same thing at Colorado. I mean, win or lose, they still loved us so much, and they'd always come out, cheer us on. So that was a cool thing. I mean, the only thing, I've never played in like a full stadium, like where all the seats are all connected. We had like kind of like a little opening. So that's a kind of cool experience, But I mean, I definitely like, our stadium here, in Green Bay as compared to the one in Colorado.
And I mean, it's kind of the same as the college atmosphere, like he was saying. I was fortunate to go to places like, Penn State, Michigan, O State.
Say Madison.
Madison.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks. Actually, the one time I went to Madison, we were breathing pretty good, so it didn't get too loud. So that was good. But I was fortunate to come to places, go to places like that. So it's very similar in Lambeau Field.
College playbook versus the pro playbook. How big of a difference is that?
Huge difference. I think in college, I mean, I don't know for sure, but I mean, I think there was maybe 50 defensive plays, 60 defensive plays. I think after OTAs was over, we were up to like 150 or something, and you got to know, like when the coach calls a play, you got to know each and every one of them. So it's pretty difficult, but I mean, it is your job, so you got to know it.
I mean, it's so much more at this level, and then just beyond that, they don't. In college, they try to dummy down the playbook offensively for us to kind of make everything kind of flow together. Here, it's like we have a word for every single thing you do. Like, if you're front side, and you're doing the same thing on the front side as you are on the back side, it's two different words. So, I mean, in the beginning, you're kind of, you're like, oh, kind of deer in the headlights. So, but I'm happy that, I got it imprinted in my head now, which, helps out. So it definitely, it's so much more.
What do you do if you forget what you're supposed to do?
For me, if I know it's going to the right or going to the left, I just go right or go left. And then if it's a pass play, I just set out. But, I mean, I would say I think so far about 98% of the time I pretty much know what I'm doing.
How about you, Micah?
I mean, that's good. I think the thing is for playing defense, the offense just tries to do so much stuff to confuse you. I mean, as far as shifting and sending guys in motion and lining up guys in different spots, it gets really hectic out there. So if you don't know what you're doing, you probably won't be on the field. That's probably the biggest thing. But if you do mess up, you better make a play. You better get a sack or you better knock down a ball or get a pick or something because they're definitely going to come at you if you messed up.
All right, difference between pros and college, cafeteria food.
Is this me?
Go for it.
Okay. I mean, are we talking dorm food?
What did they feed you in college? Did you have to go to the normal cafeteria? Did you guys have special,
mixed.
food? Yeah.
It was good. I would say here, it's kind of like flying. We're on the same plane, but it's like sitting in coach, and then now I'm like bumped up to business first class. So it's kind of you get the same kind of thing, all catered food. But I mean, one's kind of I don't get that much leg room. This one, I get a little napkin, salad. When I get there, warm towel type thing.
Yeah, it's definitely like that. In colleges, you get your steak and stuff like that, but now it's like you get your nice New York strip steak.
Get your bacon wrapped steak.
Yeah, you get the best of the best.
Medium rare.
Yeah.
You wrap anything in bacon, it's
gonna be good. I'm telling you.
Definitely gonna be a good thing. All right, we got more of In the Huddle coming up when we return. It's our social media segment. We have some Twitter questions and some Facebook questions. We'll get to those. It's brought to you by the good people at Brew Pub Pizza. More In the Huddle coming up here on the Woodward Radio Network. And we are back here at Tanner's Sports Grill in Kimberly in the Huddle on the Woodward Radio Network. Brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm. David Bakhtiari and Micah Hyde, our Packer guests with us. Time right now for our social media. You get to ask the players segment. You can follow the show along on Twitter at In the Huddle Show, or search us out on Facebook at In the Huddle Show, or In the Huddle Show on the Facebook search. Whatever you do, everybody's on social media. But our social media segment brought to you by Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza, the new Brew Pub Pizza specifically designed with hungry in mind. It's big, bold, and it's outrageously delicious. Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza is made with your favorite premium meats and veggies, topped with over 1/2 pound of Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. That's the good stuff, guys. Award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Definitely got to add that twice. When you crave a real serious pizza that brings great Brew Pub experience, this is the one. Pick it up today at your favorite local grocer. That's a Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza. Experience a truly great pizza, and some of our people here in the audience are going to take some of those home tonight. So that's the place to go afterwards for the Monday Night Football party. Let's go ahead and get to our questions here. Ryan H. from Facebook, question for both of you. I've kind of held off on the bye week questions because Ryan had a good one. What are the plans for bye week for each of you?
For me, I'm going to go back to Colorado. Coach said take your mind off football. Don't try and think about it, because we got a long road ahead of us. So what better place to be than at my college?
Just hanging out at the college? Or
I mean, just going to hang out with all my old buddies, because I left early. All my friends are still back there, so it'd be good just to see them and kind of, relax, be in the beautiful Boulder atmosphere.
How about you, Micah?
Actually, going back to Ohio, I have a wedding to be in that was scheduled like a year and a half ago, and it somehow matched up with our bye week. So
wow,
yeah, it was pretty crazy how that worked. So I have to be in the wedding.
It's amazing around here. If somebody schedules a wedding during Packer season, there's sometimes a lot of upset people that have to go attend the wedding.
I believe it. Yeah.
Missing some Green Bay Packer games. So, all right, we'll get to our next question. This one coming from Ron H. 1938 on the Twitter. This is for you, Micah. Do you have any stories about Mike Hardy, your former Iowa Hawkeye teammate? If you didn't know, he played his high school ball right here at Kimberly, home of Tanners.
Yeah, I definitely have a few stories about Mike. Good guy, great person, obviously comes from a great place. Just the last time I was in Iowa City, I came back with this nice Green Bay hat, sporting it around and whatnot, and he actually came over to my place, well, actually my old place where my buddies live now, and I wake up in the morning, my hat's gone. Didn't know what happened to it, so I made a couple phone calls and asked around, and come to find out he had it. So that's my one story, and I was kind of mad at him for a little bit, but I got over it.
You got to bring him some Packer gear back next time.
I'll probably have
there
to.
You go. How about you play Iowa State? A.J. Klein, their linebacker, also played here in Kimberly. Did you know A.J. at all?
Yeah, I played at Iowa. He was at Iowa State.
He was at Iowa when he played
so
against
that was our rival.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Did you
I
know of?
I don't really want to talk about Iowa State, but I will.
Okay.
He's a good guy. I actually at the rookie symposium we matched up with the Carolina Panthers, and that's what he's playing for now. So we got to meet them and have a couple of talks with them and this and that. And he's a great guy. I knew he was great at Iowa State, but I didn't want to say that. So he's a good person, and I wish him the best.
You didn't play with anybody from Wisconsin, did you? In Colorado? I was trying to go through the rosters and I couldn't.
Yeah,
I know
probably
there's
not.
a fullback from Franklin, Wisconsin, too. Pulawi. Oh, God.
I did train with Travis Frederick and Ricky Wagner.
Yeah.
That played at Wisconsin, Madison. And they were both great guys. But I don't think we had anyone on our team that's from Wisconsin.
All right, next question here. This one coming from SmartMark9. I'm assuming he gave himself his own Twitter handle, SmartMark. Anyway, is there a song you listen to on game day to get you fired up to play?
Yes, there's a lot of songs. I kind of keep that a secret, though. I don't want people knowing what I'm listening to. It's my own little special playlist, so...
It's like Whitney Houston or Mariah Carey or something.
I mean, there's nothing. I don't think you'll find anything extremely, out of the ordinary. But there are some songs you kind of be like, it's very interesting. But
you can't share one of those very interesting kind of.
It is my pregame songs, and if I were to share it, then it takes the pregame out of it, and it just turns into songs. I kind of have a weird thing about it. I can't really tell anyone it. So
can we ask you come February?
If I make a new playlist, I can, and then those ones get cut out, I'll tell you the ones that weren't in it anymore.
Sounds good. How about you, Micah?
I'm going to stick with the same answer he said. I keep it secretive also. I like to a little variety of music and anything that keeps me relaxed and ready to go.
Tom N., we got a Facebook question here. He would like to know, what kind of planes do you fly in and who do you sit next to on your trip?
I fly in the same planes every other human being flies in,
It's just normal planes, isn't
Yeah,
it? I think
mean,
everybody thinks you have this team chartered.
And everyone,
you're talking about our team plane. I thought you were talking about me flying. I'm like, no, I mean, I still fly. I'm still a regular person. It's not like I have this on my own plane or whatnot. Our plane, we fly, I think, Delta, and we have, I think it is, a 747 or 767. I can't.
I just get on it and go.
It's a big plane. We know we either go 3x3 or it's the 2-3-2. Seating and
you got to sit in threes.
Well, we always have a seat
in
between.
Yeah.
All right, just making sure. I don't want to see you sitting and laying all in one little.
Oh, I mean, that wouldn't be too comfortable. I don't think that
You'd probably have to sit middle too, wouldn't you?
Being a rookie, I mean, possibly.
David Bakhtiari, Micah Hyde. We'll have more. We got a couple more we want to get to here from our interactive segment. We'll talk some more bye week when we return as well. In the Huddle, brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm. More coming up from Tanner's here in Kimberly on the Woodward Radio Network. And we are back here at Tanner's Sports Grill in Kimberly. Our final segment of In the Huddle tonight is we wind down our Brew Pub Pizza social media segment, your Twitter and Facebook questions with David Bakhtiari and Micah Hyde of the Green Bay Packers. I want to hold it over because this question I really want to get the answer from Stephen Madison. I think it's a phenomenal question. We talked about your older brothers being in sports. Do you remember the first time you beat them athletically at something?
Yes, I do.
You got to go.
I want to hear stories.
If you know yours first, go. I got to think.
Well, actually, I'm 2-0 against my brother when I played against him when he was at Michigan State. But the best one was they were fifth in the nation. They came to Kinnick, and we spanked them. We beat them like 35-3 or something like that. His senior year, my sophomore year. So I was just the young kid, and I actually had a touchdown that game. It was like a 72-yard touchdown. So I had probably 40 family members at the game. So he's definitely still mad about that one.
No, I want you to add something too. That helped Wisconsin get to the Rose Bowl that year. So you helped out all the Badgers up there.
I guess I did. I was looking out for them.
How about you, David?
I mean, for me, it's a 7.5 year age difference. So the only chance we got was for us to play in the league, and that was a vouch that I said, when I got my scholarship to college, I said I'm going to work, my tail off to try and get to the next level because he was just entering. And then I said, you need to hold up your side of the bargain, and you need to be in the league for when I get there so we can play against each other. And, right now, I mean, he's scratching, holding on by a thread. He's waiting for a team to pick him up. He's been playing for God knows how long, 6.5 years for being a free agent. So I'm waiting for that day to come. There was a couple. He was about to get picked up by the Cardinals when we were about to play in the preseason. So that was going to be one. But the only sport thing was we're avid tennis playing family. So me and him play one-on-one. It's very mom and dad are telling us to calm down. We're screaming and yelling at each other playing one-on-one. I would say it's pretty much it. But I remember the first time I beat him, he wasn't happy. He wanted to call every little, that was out, you got lucky, out of this, that, the other. And I just was like, I won.
How old were you?
This was I think I was 19 at the time.
So that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. just to keep that in perspective too. All right. Bye week coming up. We talked a little bit about the plans. One thing I didn't ask is how much football watching is in the plans for you guys. Are the TVs going to be off and kind of staying away from it as much as possible?
I mean, I'm going to watch it just because I love football, and I have a bunch of buddies that I like to watch their career paths and how they do week to week, and I think they'd be mad if I didn't catch a game, especially when I have time to. So that I will select a few games, and then some games I want to see some other opponents, but that'll be about it. I won't sit on my couch all day.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the same for me. I probably won't be sitting in front of the TV all day, but like you said, I got some buddies on other teams, and it's kind of hard to watch football, when you're sitting at your house because you just, you pick and eat at, what the other teams are doing. You kind of put yourself in their position, like what our defense do. So there's a lot more, when you watch football, being an NFL player now. So I'll probably, watch a little bit and see how my buddies are doing.
You got the Bears and Lions this weekend, too. I know that's what Packer fans will be watching, a couple of your division rivals. I know Colorado is at Oregon State this weekend.
Yes.
Iowa's at Minnesota, the Floyd of Rosedale Traveling Trophy.
Yeah.
Tell us about the pig.
It's in Iowa City right now, I can say that. We won it last year. I do not like Minnesota, that's for sure. I'm going to put that out there. They don't like us. It's a pretty heated rivalry. And hopefully they can go up to Minnesota and keep it in Iowa City.
Did you have traveling trophies at Colorado? Colorado State, right?
We have, the one between Colorado State, and then we have, that's the only one, just one with Colorado State.
The Rocky Mountain Showdown?
The Rocky Mountain Showdown.
For the Centennial Cup?
Mm-hmm.
The Rumble in the Rockies against Utah.
That one, there's no trophy yet,
okay.
but there's a Rumble in the Rockies. It's 1-1, and I would like to say this. The Buffaloes are 2-0. And they are undefeated right now. So one thing my buddy said, who would have thought the Colorado Buffaloes would be undefeated going into Week 4? So that's
double
always a
the
good
win
thing.
total from last year, right?
Hey.
I'm just mentioning that.
No, it's good. I mean, all my buddies still play, so I'm really happy for all of them. I mean, they deserve it. They deserve to win and get enough wins to go to a bowl game, which he was very fortunate enough to go to. I mean, I was never fortunate enough to ever see one, but I guess there's only one bowl on my mind. That's the Super Bowl.
That's the right bowl to have on your mind.
That's the right bowl to have.
4 traveling trophies for Iowa. Do you know the other 3?
Oh yeah, we got one with Wisconsin. That's
Heartland Trophy.
Yeah, the Heartland. They're actually playing this year. I didn't get to play Wisconsin the last 2 years. And Iowa State.
The Cyhawk.
Yep. And then shoot, don't tell me. Don't say it.
We got like 60 seconds. So.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
Nebraska. Yeah.
The Heroes Trophy.
Yeah.
With Nebraska. So I got to say, Micah, it's been a lot of fun.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. Very entertaining, and best of luck to you. And I'm sure we'll talk to you down the road.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm sure we'll run into each other again.
David, thank you again so much. Have a great bye week, safe travels, and everything you guys do. And we'll see you in a few weeks.
Awesome.
Right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
David Bakhtiari, Micah Hyde in the huddle here, brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm on the Woodward Radio Network. We got to thank our crew helping make this possible. Evan Stanek, our engineer, Reggie and Zach back at the Woodward Radio Ranch, the studios, Jason Kemp out here. Of course, Lenny and Sue from LNS Classic Limousine. Our salespeople, Dan Hohenberger, John Leopold, and John Wani, and, of course, the great folks here at Tanner's. We will be back next week with a show. Hope to see you out here as well in the huddle, brought to you by Mills Fleet Farm. Have a great week here on the Woodward Radio Network.